Hi, my name's Sam Soper. I'm a mural artist and illustrator based out of Austin, Texas. I'm also a graffiti artist who writes Frog. I recently was invited to paint up at Paint Louis, which is a graffiti festival that has been happening since 1997, where graffiti artists, writers, mural artists, and street artists come from all over the world to paint this Mississippi River flood wall in St. Louis that is one of the largest mural installations in the world. It's actually listed in the Guinness Book of World Records, which is really exciting. I've already gotten a ton of support from friends and family. My flight and my lodging has been paid for. I've gotten some support from some graffiti artists and muralists that I really, really respect and admire, so that also makes me feel super secure in my decision to go up there and do this. I'm probably gonna make some really, really good connections up there and hopefully get invited to other stuff in the future that may have a larger budget for artists. But for right now, I am raising money for my paints and a lift. The lift is the more expensive part of that because it is a piece of construction equipment. But if I can rent a lift while I'm up there, that is gonna save me a lot of trouble. A lot of times when I go to a different location, I will paint a frog that is native to that area or a toad that's native to that area. So it's a project I am now calling Frogs Far and Wide, where I go to different cities and do a street art piece dedicated to a native frog or toad species. And that character of that frog or toad species is doing something to appreciate either the local street art culture or something else about the local culture. So far, I've been to New Orleans, San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin. I, of course, have painted several in Austin. So the piece that I'm planning as part of this Frogs Far and Wide project is a crawfish frog, which is native to St. Louis and the Missouri area and the Mississippi River specifically, driving a tugboat. And since this is a festival that attracts a ton of writers, I would feel remiss if I did not do a writing piece, so I'm planning on making the tires on the side of the tugboat into a frog lettering piece. I'm really excited about the piece I have planned. I was born in New Orleans originally, and my dad was a tugboat maintenance engineer all up and down the Mississippi River and in the Gulf of Mexico area. He did that up until he retired back in 2020. And since then, he's been dealing with a lot of issues with Parkinson's, which has been really rough to kind of witness myself. So this piece is kind of an homage to him and the work that he did when he was working, and kind of paying homage to all of the people that, and little tugs that could, that work every day to keep our supply chain running. I feel like anybody that lives in an area where they are along the Mississippi River, or honestly any sort of coastal wetland area, a lot of those people end up having, you know, parents that work in the shipping industry, or they themselves work in the shipping industry. And I feel like a lot of people will connect to this piece up there, and I just wanted to kind of create something fun with it that sort of celebrates that work that they do. I want to make something that people connect with. As with all of my work, I want people to be able to see themselves in it. I want people to feel like their lives are reflected. Even though it's like silly fantasy stuff, I really love it when people connect to my work and feel like they can see themselves in it. I've had kids come up and like scream about my work before, and they're like, "Ah, like the frog, ah!" I've had women come up, and the piece I did up in Dallas, I had a woman come up and was like, "Oh my God, she looks just like me, I love it," because I made her big-bodied like myself. And just being able to bring that joy to people is really important for me. I create things that make people happy, and just the act of doing it myself makes me happy. So that's the biggest benefit for me. Like, it feels like I am, even though it may not be financial progress, I still feel like I am making progress towards something I've dreamed about since I was 5 years old. Even though I may not be getting paid for it at some point in time, I hopefully will be, but for right now, I am happy to just put my work out into the world and bring a smile to more people's faces than just my own. So I'd really appreciate your support. Thanks.